All right. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on one of the biggest stories in tech. I mean, it feels like Google is dropping a new AI tool every single week, right? Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and find out what's really going on behind the scenes.
So yeah, let's just get right into it. Is this a brilliant strategy, or is it just pure chaos? What's so interesting is that if you look just beneath the surface, past that constant flood of new features and, frankly, sometimes confusing names, you start to see something else entirely. There's a clear, powerful master plan at work here. And that master plan can really be thought of as a grand blueprint. The key thing to understand is that Google's strategy isn't some random collection of products. Nope, it's a very deliberate three-part plan designed to make its AI the intelligence layer for our entire digital world.
And here are those three parts. You can think of it as a three-pronged attack. First up, consumer ubiquity. The idea is to weave AI so deeply into the apps you already use every day that you can't imagine living without it. Second, developer supremacy. This is all about becoming the absolute go-to platform for anyone building with AI. And third, enterprise transformation, which means going into the business world and completely changing how companies operate from the inside out.
Okay, so that's the blueprint. But what's the engine actually powering this whole machine? Well, that brings us to the engine room. And at the heart of it all is a family of AI models you've probably heard of, coming from Google DeepMind, Gemini. Now, this is super important to get. Gemini isn't just one single thing. It's more like a family of models, each one custom built for a different job. You've got the heavyweight Gemini 2.5 Pro for the really complex, brainy tasks. Then there's Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is all about speed and efficiency. And finally, you have Gemini Nano, which is so small it can run right on your phone, keeping your data private. It's a brilliant strategy, really. It means they have the perfect tool for any job. Okay, so let's see how this blueprint actually changes the apps you and I use every single day. This is that first pillar in action, making AI completely ubiquitous. And the way they're doing it is pretty clever. They're just upgrading the tools you already know and love from the inside out. And there's no better example of this than Google Search. For decades, what was it? It was a list of 10 links, right? It gave you the sources, but you had to do all the work of clicking and reading and putting the pieces together. Well, that's changing, and it's changing fast. The new AI-powered search is a totally different beast. With AI overviews, it gives you direct answers right at the top. It's shifting from being an information index to an information synthesizer. And look, it is absolutely not just about search. This is happening everywhere. In Google Photos, you can now ask Photos a question. In Workspace, Gemini is suddenly your co-pilot, helping you draft emails or even create images and slides. On your phone, Gemini is becoming the new, smarter assistant. The core idea is simple. Take familiar tools and give them brand new superpowers.
Okay, so we've seen how Google is putting AI into your everyday life, but that's only 1/3 of the plan. Let's talk about the other two pillars, powering developers and businesses. This is where Google aims to become the foundational layer for everyone who is building the future with AI.
And to do this, they're using this really fascinating two-pronged strategy. On one hand, you have Gemini. These are the crown jewels, the most powerful proprietary models that are kept closed for paying customers. But then, on the other hand, they release Gemma, powerful open models designed to compete head-to-head with rivals like Meta's Llama. Why do this? It's genius. It fosters a huge community and wins the hearts and minds of developers everywhere. And it's not just the models, it's the tools. The goal here is crystal clear. Give every type of builder exactly what they need. If you're a student playing with an idea, there's Google AI Studio. If you're a pro developer, you've got Gemini Code Assist. And if you're a massive corporation, you get the whole shebang with Vertex AI. It's a no builder left behind strategy. So, where does this all lead? What is the end game here? Because all of this, the models, the tools, the app integrations, this isn't the final destination. Nope. These are all just the building blocks for something much, much bigger.
And that something is what the industry is calling agentic AI. So what is that? Well, think of it this way. Today's AI mostly answers questions. An agentic AI, on the other hand, can understand a complex goal, create a plan, and then, this is the key part, actually execute that plan by taking actions across different apps. It doesn't just answer you, it acts for you. This quote just says it all perfectly. The ultimate vision is an AI that doesn't just answer questions, it gets things done. That's the whole point.
And this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. Google is already showing off early versions of this, like Project Mariner. This future is literally being built as we speak.
So, what started out looking like a chaotic flood of tools is actually a very clear, very deliberate blueprint for an agentic future. That, right there, is the master plan, and it leaves all of us with a pretty profound thought to chew on. What really happens when your AI stops just answering your questions and starts taking action for you?